I love my grandchildren more than words can say. But honestly, I didn't spend decades raising my children just to have my life turn back into a schedule of school pickups, doctor's appointments, soccer practices, and last-minute calls of, "Mom, can you help us out?" My name is Linda. I'm 62 years old and I live in Ohio. I have 3 grandchildren. Ethan is 7, loud, energetic, and gives hugs like he's trying to crack my ribs. Emma is 5, clever, observant, and always watching everything with those serious little eyes. And then there's Noah, who just turned 2. He still struggles to say my name properly, but when he runs toward me, you'd think I was the most important person in the world. I adore them. But loving them doesn't mean I'm available every day, every hour, and at a moment's notice. When my children became adults, I finally discovered something I hadn't had in years: my own life. I joined a dance class for women over 50. I started going to local theater performances with friends. On Saturday mornings, we take day trips to nearby towns, farmers markets, and nature trails. Sometimes I simply sit at home with a cup of coffee and a good book and don't rush anywhere. To some people, those things may sound small. To me, they feel like freedom. Slowly, though, my children began assuming that because I was retired, I was automatically free. If someone needed to be picked up from school, they called me. If a child got sick, they called me. If they had work, appointments, errands, home repairs, social plans, or were simply exhausted, they called me. And for a long time, I always said yes. 'Cause I'm grandma. Because I love them. Because I wanted to help. Because who else would do it? Then one day, I had planned a weekend getaway with my friends. The hotel was booked. My suitcase was packed. I was excited. At 8 o'clock that morning, my daughter called. "Mom, can you watch the kids today? We really need help." I told her I already had plans. She replied, "Mom, it's just a trip. These are your grandkids." And the first gave in. I stayed home. I made lunch, settled arguments, cleaned sticky hands, and watched the same cartoon for what felt like the 100th time. That evening, my daughter smiled and said, "Thanks, Mom. You really saved us today." Then she left. I sat alone in my kitchen staring at my packed suitcase. And suddenly it hit me. Not because I don't love my grandchildren, but because nobody had stopped to think that maybe Grandma had plans too. Maybe she had been looking forward to that day. Maybe her life mattered as much as everyone else's. A few days later, I sat down with my children and said something I should have said years earlier. I will always help when I can, but I need advance notice. And if I already have plans, I won't always cancel them. First came silence, then surprise, then a little hurt and frustration. But you know what? The world didn't fall apart. Now they ask instead of assuming. It's not perfect, but it's better. And I've gone back to my dance classes, my theater nights, and my Saturday adventures. I'm a grandmother, but I'm also a woman, a person, not an on-call emergency service. Loving your grandchildren doesn't mean you stop belonging to yourself.